Oh no, Corsace is live.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to Corsace Closed 2024. I'm Mavs, and we're excited to bring you here today a pretty banger matchup between seed number 4 up against seed number 5, being enri up against FlyingTuna. And I'm, of course, joined by my favorite Australian duo. It's going to be Vordy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Mavs. It's always nice to be joined by my favorite Australian duo, Mavs.
Mine glazed me too hard, man.
Dude, I just gotta reciprocate. But yeah, this is an awesome matchup. Two players who are extremely well versed in aim control, which this pool has quite a good amount of. I do think that in this matchup, notably, enri does have the edge on tapping. Not to say that FlyingTuna isn't strong in it. And after seeing, worst HR player win a no mod 5 against Emrek, I'm game for anything at this point. But yeah, hopefully a great matchup. Both of these players are super high, high level, high skill player. We saw enri get 4th overall in qualies and Tuna get 5th. So hopefully we get a pretty close match.
Yeah, I think maybe not quite what you would expect out of a matchup like this is perhaps something that's close. At least like a year ago, you would have always favored enri in this matchup, I think pretty much undoubtedly. And I think he still is favored, obviously, up against FlyingTuna. enri, like, one of the best tournament players this game's ever seen. But Tuna has been performing like very well just like this past year. Like, obviously he had that sort of hiatus and has kind of come back to his form and come back to his sort of skill ceiling that we once saw from him, all those years ago. And he's just starting to look like a really solid and consistent player again, which is really great to see. And I hope he can bring things close here up against enri, who, of course, you've got to be scared coming into a matchup against this guy. You got to feel like you're the underdog just with how many good like third place performances enri has put up like over the past few years in some of the hardest tournaments with like the best players in the world. So
Yeah, for sure. And a quick overview of the bans. FlyingTuna banning out the no mod 2 stamina flowing map makes sense against a player like enri. Enri banning out Deconstruction Star. FlyingTuna is very good on that map. He got the first S rank on it like 5 years ago. And then I believe it is enri picking the Hidden 2 AR8 flowing map.
Yeah, as we already get into things. Honestly, just didn't even realize the bans were happening, so for clutching up there. Just like didn't even realize, just zone it out, man. Just happened. But we are straight into the Hidden 2. First pick from enri, as you said. And yeah, I think this is a pretty solid first pick. I think obviously is going to be fairly favored towards enri, a very solid low AR hidden player. Tuna, he can play them, I think, depending on the type of map, but I think we might see some struggles from him on this one. This has some really brutal stream patterns for an AR8.
Yeah, this is a rough AR8. I think flow aim on AR8 hidden is extra hard compared to jumps. It's really hard to keep your position on those streams. And as you mentioned, yeah, FlyingTuna is pretty good at low AR hidden, but enri is just really extra comfy. He got 3rd overall on the Hidden 2 in qualies. FlyingTuna got 11th, I believe. And if you're first picking the AR8 hidden, that can only mean that you're well practiced. You're ready to play it. And so far, enri holding the SS. FlyingTuna, just with the early drop, still playing this really well, but it's going to come down to whoever finds the breaks on one of these flowing patterns. Both players doing pretty well, though. enri with the lead. enri breaks! There it is!
Wait a second.
There's the gap that FlyingTuna needed. Now he just needs to hold on for a little bit longer. Gets through all of the reverses. Oh my goodness.
How is Tuna hitting these patterns, man? Like, this is unbelievable. I didn't expect either of these players to, like, FC through this whole section. I'm not going to lie, because these patterns look impossible in the editor. And they're actually just hitting... Tuna just hit everything!
No!
Slider broke on the buzz slider! He slider broke on the second last buzz slider of that difficult section, but he still managed to accrue over a 60k lead, which is going to be enough considering enri's got no combo coming out of that section. He doesn't have the accolade either. So it's probably enough from Tuna as long as he doesn't troll the ending, but we've still got some more difficult sections coming up, and there goes a bit of a chain miss. enri now building up a bit of a combo and will take the accolade, but it's a 50k gap to close with a third of the map remaining. So there's room here, but I think we're going to have to see another miss from Tuna.
The 50k score gap is very nice, but if there's any skill set in the game that is chain missable, it is going to be AR8 hidden flowing. There's nothing else I could even think of that has a higher opportunity of getting unfortunate chain misses. So far, though, FlyingTuna pretty close behind enri, but it's really gonna come down to this next miss, whoever gets it. I think if both players hold on, that lead that Tuna built is going to be enough, but there's still an eighth of the map left to go, and any chain miss could make the difference.
Like, all those buzz sliders as well are just so scary. It just looks like you could just break on any of them. Oh no. We've lost our vision here.
We've lost visual on the map.
We've lost the visuals.
I think the stream can still see it, and enri missed on stream. Enri missed, I think that is Tuna to win it.
Oh good, yeah. Tuna did win it and come out on top. We lost visuals for a moment there, but you guys could still see, so that's all good. Tuna did come out on top, did not break again. Still got another 600, almost 600 combo into the ending. Tuna, incredible performance. Break point early out the gate. And that's not what you want in matchups like this. You don't want that in a format like Corsace Closed, where obviously we're going to see the first 4 maps come out, and then we're going into the second lot of bans, which always is going to mean that these players are going to pick their 2 best maps early. Mind.
By the way, it's swapped. So it's actually enri to win, by the way. They were their positions, I believe, were swapped on stream. We got a little bit trolled there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we got a little bit trolled.
Wait, they were in the wrong slots.
They were in the wrong
Enri
position.
actually won.
Enri was the one comboing at the gate.
I was gonna say, man, I was like, Tuna is going crazy, and he still did really well on the map, by the way, but like, I just wasn't expecting him to combo through that whole stream section, and I guess, you know, it really was just Enri comboing it the whole time.
Yeah. Actually, baited it.
It is. Yeah.
It is what it is. Well, okay, in that case, I mean, still, you know, FlyingTuna not too far behind, which is fair. They're both pretty good at the skill set, but was enri indeed who did have that extra comfort. We'll see if the positions still end up being like that for the rest, but it's going to be FlyingTuna to pick the no mod for the tech map. Makes sense. He's a very comfortable tech player, and this is gonna. I think this is gonna be the scary part about being Tuna in this matchup is most of what he's good at, enri's also really good at. So there's really no free picks here, and I think that goes for enri as well. He didn't win that hidden 2 by an extremely large margin, but yeah, all of these picks are going to be hard fought.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the most notable advantages in this matchup is going to be possibly some speed for enri, or some tapping rather, just tapping in general. But like, Tuna can play tapping. It just kind of depends. When it starts getting that really high BPM range, that's where enri's going to have the clear advantage. But you know, like you said, a lot of these players, like both these players, have a lot of very similar skill sets. Both really good on tech. And here we are into the tech. This No Mod 4 looked disgustingly brutal when I looked at it in the edit event. It just looked psycho.
Oh yeah, the aim control, the cuts in this one, it's just an onslaught. It does not really give you a time to recover. I believe, by the way, it is Tuna still on the left in this map. I believe they're going to swap after this. Do keep that in mind when looking at the combos.
Okay, yep, so we've actually got FlyingTuna on the left here, enri on the right. So just keep that in mind for this map. We'll get it fixed up after this one. But yeah, both players still FCing through in this first section. And yeah, as we said, just look how brutal some of these patterns are already. Enri holding onto a really good accuracy though, despite that, which is extremely impressive. 99 on this right now is unreal, but even just to see both the combos is very, very impressive. Some of these slider streams, oh man, the acceleration, it's just so difficult, but they're both going crazy, Woody. What the?
Oh, but I believe that is Tuna, by the way, on the left to break, and enri to hold on Tuna's pick, by the way. Not exactly what you would want, and you know, Tuna is still valiantly getting through like half the map on a combo, but so what can you do against enri, who's also so insanely good at tech and aim control, one of the best in the world at that skill set? And he's just still holding onto that FC past the halfway point, hitting all of these insane cuts.
Yeah, I mean, enri just doing enri things right now in the No Mod 4. It's what you expect out of someone like this, and you know, it almost feels like for Tuna, like perhaps, you know, he didn't need to first pick this. Not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily a mispick, but oh, there actually goes enri, dropping the full combo. Tuna with a 500 combo. There may be room, but it'll be really hard to bring this one back.
Especially with that break.
That miss.
Yeah.
With that miss, it's going to seal it. But yeah, like as I was saying, this could have been something Tuna could have opted to pick later into the match as more of a 50-50 pick. But, you know, just considering the fact that I don't think enri was ever going to ban something like this in the second ban phase. But perhaps Tuna not really sure what he wants to go for early, not really sure what enri may end up banning out. Of course, enri coming into the matchup kind of with the advantage on like skill sets, so can be a tough hill to climb for Tuna, but this is going to be a solid first breakpoint for enri, making things 2-0 as he continues to hold on to that 500 combo. That is enri on the right side. As a reminder, enri will be taking the breakpoint.
Yep, should be swapped after this. I think they just need to change their positions in the lobby. But yeah, great start for enri so far. Tuna chain missing some of the patterns near the end, which is fair. I mean, just look at how wild these cuts are. And 500k from enri is massive.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good score.
Not only 500k, but 98.2% on that No Mod 4 is just completely ludicrous. Considering the fact that Tuna's AC on that is really good, 95.9, and Tuna is a really, really good tech player, as like everyone knows how good of a tech player Tuna is. And enri's like, yeah, it's 98 on that. I just get over 2% higher. Like, unreal.
And I mean, there's some players in the game who are just AC-pilled. Like, they just have crazy accuracy no matter what. I think Malashevsky is a notable player who just has absurd accuracy. But enri's another player who's just, their AC is almost more impressive at times than their combos, but obviously he still has the ability to get insane combos. But it is going to be enri to get the next pick before the second set of bans here. Both players get 2 more picks, so one pick each. And up 2-0 in a best of, or in a first to 6 is really, really good momentum. If he gets a third pick here, it's going to be very good for him.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what enri is going to decide to dip into now that the low AR hidden is out of the way. There is that No Mod 6. That is definitely an option if he feels practice on it. But the fact that Tuna hasn't banned it leads me to believe that Tuna is going to be very practiced. But no, it's going to be the tapping, as I was talking about before.
I was going to say the tapping makes sense, especially after that No Mod 2 ban from Tuna. I'm almost more surprised not to see the DT2 picked, presumably just because enri maybe doesn't feel as comfortable. But I think enri as the advantage tapping player in this matchup, I do think DT2 is so brutal that there is going to be some disparity there. But I think Tuna has shown in the past to have really good stamina. I think better stamina than some people think. I'm thinking back to the show match in SSOT. He just busted out like a really insane score on the No Mod 2 in that match, which was a very high BPM, high stamina map. Which also means, I think, assuming he's on a good tapping day, he can probably play this pretty decently as well. But enri's the type of player to FC this with like 99.5 AC, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Absolutely. And as you were saying, I think possibly that DT2 only being at 228 BPM, even though it is like pure stamina shred, possibly feeling like Tuna has the stamina for it and it's not necessarily a concern on the BPM, whereas this No Mod 5, 270. So really going to be testing Tuna's ability to tap at this BPM level for prolonged periods of time. And as you can see early on, already struggling considerably. I do believe we have the players swapped over.
They're swapped. It is now actually in the correct positions. enri's on the left, Tuna's on the right, so you don't have to worry about jumbling your brain. Yeah, as expected, enri right now on 99% accuracy. I think there was a point where, I think originally, enri was known as like an aim control player, and then obviously still a really good tapping player, but now he's just a speed demon. So good at tapping, and when he's comfortable at a certain level, he can just get these crazy accuracies as he did last round. But Tuna not too far behind, recovering after that first miss. Not on the best accuracy, but combo is what matters at the end of the day. If he holds on, and enri does find a break, there is a chance. Unfortunately, with that miss.
Wonder if that's Bancho. I don't think so, unfortunately. Yeah, it's going to have to be the combo game for Tuna, and with that break, when you're struggling on accuracy in a map like this, you cannot afford to drop combo, especially when the other player is FCing with 99. It's already looking like this one is close to finished at this point, and we're not even halfway.
Yeah, I mean, Enri's score right now is just absurd. I was saying 99.5 almost as like an overshoot, but he's getting there. Obviously, it was at 99.6. Let's find some 100s, but still way in the lead. I think you're probably right. It's pretty much already over. I don't imagine Tuna can do much at this point.
Even if he were to go ahead and FC the rest of the map and Enri were to break here, like, I actually think Enri possibly still wins just because the accuracy, like, Enri's still going to have, like, over 500k.
Yeah.
Regardless. So it is going to be really tough for Tuna, but obviously it's not impossible. If he can continue to FC, Enri finds a chain miss, finds some accuracy drops, but it's just not looking like he wants to drop. Already 1400 combo, 99%, and just shredding everything in this map. But so is Tuna, man. Tuna's kind of going for a player that isn't, you know, super proficient on a skill set like this. He's putting his best foot forward, and he's doing really well on it.
I mean, that's the thing. I think Tuna is good enough at speed where if he was up against a player who really wasn't comfortable at it, he could definitely take some points. But when Enri is here on a 99% FC, there's just not much you can do.
There's just nothing you can do. That's the one thing about, like, tapping or, like, just speed, stamina, like, type maps, where it's like, it's one of the more consistent type skill sets for players. And if you can consistently FC it, you're always going to beat your opponent if your opponent is less comfortable, because you're just always going to have a better accuracy. And this is like what we're kind of seeing now. If Enri FCs this, he's going to win it in 100% of cases, because there's just no way Tuna's ever going to out-act Enri on something like this.
I mean, on speed maps, when a player is really good at speed, it essentially becomes an aim map by default, because the tapping is just nothing. And then you do see really good speed players miss on aim and lose in that fashion, but Enri's also really good at aim and does find a huge FC on the Nomad 5, an absolutely phenomenal score, and a great way to take this match 3-0 with huge momentum.
Yep. Tuna's got to start the comeback here. It's got to start now. He cannot afford to go down 4-0 before the second set of bans here. It'll be looking very grim if that happens, but the question is, where does Tuna even go? There's just not really much he can pick that's going to necessarily favor him in a matchup like this. I think there's several maps he could go for. They're going to end up being sort of coin flippy, sort of, you know, could go either way, but I just don't know what he picks, man, to have the advantage over Enri.
I have to agree. There's maps here that Tuna's going to be good on, but Enri's going to be just as good on, if not better in many cases. So you're looking for a weighted coin flip that's favored to Enri in many cases. I think this is one of the difficult parts about this matchup. Feels like a little bit of a skill mismatch in the sense that Enri's just so comfortable at control, like we saw in the Nomad 4, but also has maps like the Nomad 5 that he's just advantaged on. I think that is going to be Tuna to pick. I think that was is that the hidden 3? I think it's paired for a bit, but I'm back. I mean, sure. I feel like the hiddens are good for Tuna in the sense that I think the maps he's going to be good on. Hidden 3 is something Tuna should be comfortable on, but so is Enri. Does pick the Hard Rock too, the 6.5 map, and I think it's a good angle to go. I mean, it's a bit of a different direction. You lost in the hidden, you lost in the speed. This is also has elements of control, but I think at this point, Tuna needs a pick that will open up other directions. And if he wins the 6.5, that opens up Hard Rock 1, that opens up Hard Rock 3. And you're going to need to win a lot of points in a successive fashion to take this match back. So I do think this is a good pick.
Yeah, I think this is a decent pick as well. Kind of mixing it up, going for this Hard Rock is, again, one of those skill sets where this is hard to call what way it's going to go. But a map like this, really, it's anyone's game. On most 6.5s, it's usually like anyone's point. Like, unless there's just a clear difference in comfort on Hard Rock and small circles, 6.5s or even smaller circles than that is always going to be relatively hard to be consistent on in match. And especially a map like this, there's so many just cut patterns, constant cut stream sections as we move towards the Ki, and this map's very short as well, so one single miss is going to be a considerable combo dropped just because of how short this map is.
I would agree. At this high level where every player in this tournament is super skilled and has a baseline level of mechanics in pretty much anything, 6.5 does feel notably more RNG. Also, this is a very short map. We're already halfway through.
We're
Both
halfway.
players are FCing. And it is going to be Enri, unsurprisingly, with the ACK lead. But will he find a break and give Tuna that opening?
Yeah, 300 combo might not seem like a lot, but with how short this map is, that's a huge combo right now. And there goes Tuna. And it's already going to be such a massive score lead for Enri. Just because of how short the map is, look how quickly his score builds off of that. Off of 50 combo, he just gets like 150k lead like instantly. And it's just already done. Enri FCing, Tuna unfortunately not able to convert. Oh man, what do you do?
Man. Enri just FCing that like it's nothing.
Two maps in a row, man.
What? It's just too difficult to win picks when the opponent you're playing against is not giving you an opportunity. This 660k from Tuna is a really solid score that would have beaten a lot of players in this tournament, but Enri just full combos and with good accuracy as well. Like that is a very difficult map to hack. 6.5 aim control, low BPM, OD10, all factors that make it hard to hack. And yeah, I mean, second set of bans, but Enri up 4-0. This is leaving not much room for Tuna.
Yeah, and I think you've really got no other option here, I think, other than probably just DT2 as the ban for Tuna. Yeah, it's going to be the DT2. The fact that he didn't ban No Mod 6 early just leads me to believe, like, maybe Tuna actually has a chance on that map. So, yeah, I'm expecting that DT2 ban, definitely more so.
Yeah, especially after that No Mod 5 performance.
Yeah.
I'm honestly more surprised that Enri didn't pick DT2, but I felt like that would have been even more of a polarizing win. But obviously, No Mod 5 still went plenty well, so both picks probably equal level. Probably a choice between the two. As Enri goes for his next ban, and I mean, I guess just ban whatever you think Tuna's going to be good at. I think at this point, Enri is such a well-versed, versatile player, but does ban the Hard Rock 3, which I do think is a good ban, just because that is something that Tuna is pretty good at, and I think it is one of the more coin flippy maps in the sense that it's so hard to be consistent at that Hard Rock ult flow aim control.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to ban No Mod ult, may as well just follow it up with the Hard Rock ult ban as well. So, yeah, definitely just makes sense for Enri to get rid of that one. Not that I think he, doesn't have a chance on it. Obviously, it would have been one of those maps where it's just like a weighted coin flip like you were talking about, but got to get rid of something. And yeah.
Also, that is a nice raid from worst HR player after he FC'd Yomiuri. Very well done.
Wait, what? What happened?
Forum just got a nice Yomiuri FC and gave us a nice raid.
Oh. Worst HR player FCing Yomiuri and raiding Corsace. Thanks, man. You're a beast. That's unbelievable, actually. Why can he play Yomiuri?
What, dude? Dude, he's gotten good at tapping, man. You see what he did on Mod 5?
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better. It's actually over for everybody if he gets like insane levels of speed. There's just no opportunities at that point for anybody to win picks. But it's gonna be Enri picking the No Mod 1. This is a map I don't think you've got to see too much. I don't know, but obviously very very aim heavy. 8 stars, pretty high BPM. I think most of the aim in this pool, all of the very aim heavy maps, all the 1 slots are pretty high BPM across the board, which makes sense. I think when you need really high star ratings, that is sort of what you need to do. Lower BPM just doesn't always tend to be hard enough, but I think that this is a 235.
235. Yeah, pretty crazy. Like, No Mod 1 235, Hidden 1 230, Hard Rock 1 240, DT 1 276. So yeah, really not slacking on any of the aim BPM this week. Definitely all fairly high BPM, and things kicked off into this No Mod 1, which, if I remember correctly, I think it's got some linear aim in our key eyes, like some squares that I think are worth looking out for, if I'm remembering the right map.
I think Hidden 1 has more.
Might have been Hidden 1.
I think there are a few like somewhat awkward sections. It's gonna be Tuna breaking, first on the notes and then there on the slider tape, which is a bit tilting. But Enri holding on to that SS. He's just going off on every skill set you can think of. Low AR, high BPM, speed, 6.5. I mean, just everything he's going crazy on, and obviously still early on into this map, but already with a huge advantage.
Dude, who ticked off Enri today, man? Like, what is this performance from him? So far today, he's just been unstoppable. And yeah, I mean, still doing the thing over a third of the way through the map here. Every time I mention it specifically, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just a classic!
Even when you're vague about it, the game knows. It's gonna be Tuna breaking again on this awkward, repeating anti-aim section. But Enri just holding on, and man, like, what can you do against this? Hitting that massive horizontal section. 235 BPM, by the way. I think that sometimes the speed doesn't really translate, but this is spacing like that at this BPM is no joke.
Yeah, like this might just look like, your average farm map, I can hit those jumps, but no, it is 235 BPM. So, like, that aim that you might see on like a 180 BPM map, like this is 235, man. So it's unreal difficult. Both players getting through that section, and Enri still just FCing, like, just stop it, dude. Like, it's just a ridiculous performance from him today.
It's unreal. Does find the miss, I believe, after that small scream. Does not. That's an awkward pattern for sure. That's an understandable miss, especially kind of coming out of nowhere after you've just been playing jumps nonstop. Tuna does have the combo advantage, but I think it's too late for him to find a recovery here. Both players hitting that massive aim.
God.
Actually insane.
Just hitting cross map 235 BPM squares. What is this aim at the ending, man? This is so ridiculous. And both players are just hitting it. Enri misses. Tuna's going crazy on the endings. Dude, Tuna is hitting everything on this ending. Enri finding chain misses. Tuna's still going, finally misses. There was no time anyway, but I mean, he put up a valiant fight. The accuracy's not even far off of Enri. It's just, Enri just hit that earlier combo. Oh, the aim and the endings.
Oh my
goodness. No one's FCing this ending. No one. The ending's ridiculous.
This time is pretty wild. I mean, Tuna's recovery at the end was really solid. It's just not enough. I think there's some aim fatigue happening here.
Yeah.
Some of these last patterns. And still a solid score, but Enri with that 600k will win his pick and take match 5-0 with just one map away from winning. And so far, man, Tuna's scores have been consistently really solid. You could say other than that No Mod 5, but for the most part, it's just Enri's just playing too well.
It's one of those days for Enri, I think. He's just going absolutely crazy. This is the Enri I want to see, man, when we get those banger matchups, Enri Emrek, Enri Malachevsky, Enri Forum. This is what I want to see, man. I want to see this Enri in action, because holy, like, matches like that would be insane if he's going up against, some of the best.
Yeah, a potential Enri Malice in the next stage could happen. I think they're players who've teamed together as well. It'll be interesting to see. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses very, very well. And the strengths are everything, I think, for both of those players.
Absolutely. And like, Tuna is playing so well still. Like, on a lot of these maps, like you said, he's still putting up exceptional scores, like often like 500k, around the 500k mark, and sometimes higher. It's just, what do you do when like this guy FCs 2 maps in a row, like in the middle of the match, and then just still gets really, really good scores outside of that as well?
There's not much you can do, and because Enri's accuracy is always so good as well, even when he doesn't get the best combo, he might find a break earlier than anticipated, he's still going to get that extra boost from that accuracy, so you pretty much have to out-combo him to win a pick against him, and that's just not easy when his aim is so consistent. But Tuna's thinking about his last pick. I mean, I think at this point, you just can really go for anything. Just play to your strengths and don't worry about what Enri can be good at. Goes for DT3. Now this is something that, this is a skill set when Tuna has the stamina for this, which he will. The stamina requirement on this map isn't too high. I believe his aim control and his reading on this type of skill set is really, really good. So I think this is a really solid pick for Tuna.
Yeah, I mean, kind of at this point, when you've got to win 6 in a row, you can kind of just go for whatever. But I do like the start, going for the DT3, mixing it up again. There's not really much else he could have dipped into that kind of already hasn't been played for the most part, or isn't already banned. So DT3 is a good angle. It's really the only place he could go in the pool where he's gonna be switching things up.
Yeah, I mean, the only scary thing is on paper, oh, really good pick for Tuna, and then wait, finger control, aim control. Oh, I'm playing as enri. That's rough. At the end of the day, you just have to hope you perform really well, you get a nice FC potentially, and enri doesn't. That's all you can ask for, but Tuna can be the first one to break, and enri's still doing the thing again at the intro of this map.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And this map's pretty long if I remember correctly. Oh, actually finding a miss. Just transitioning off of that cut stream there a little bit early. Finding a miss on the last note. Both players matching combos now, but the Aclead already is just unbelievable. It's 2.5% already for enri early on in this map, but the combo is there for Tuna, so still a bit of life left in him to fight with.
The OD is pretty low on this map, but it's still, just by the nature of its skill set, aim control, DT3, it's going to be hard to act most of the time. And that is making the entirety of enri's advantage. But obviously opportunity for Tuna, just has to hold on if he wants to make this match closer. He needs a break from enri.
Yeah. And I mean, enri's accuracy is it's just unreal to even have accuracy like this on a 10.3 type map like this. Just unbelievable. 99.72 is just ridiculous. Tuna's got the combo though and has a great accuracy himself, 98.3. Oh, that pattern was so brutal and enri drops. Wait, that pattern was like impossible to hit and Tuna hit it. He's going now. This is his chance. He's got 20k to build back this score disadvantage, and he's hitting everything right now. Finally, is he going to take the lead for possibly the first time in this match? Yes, he is. It does flicker over to Tuna's favor, but a quarter of the map remaining, and he still has to convert the ending of this map.
Still needs to hold on. If he finds a break soon, that Ackley from enri is going to cause him to swing back, but it's a crazy cut stream. Both players do, but it's Tuna with the combo. Over 60k in the score lead now. Just needs to hold on for a little bit longer, but does to find a break. Does that give enri a chance? It's 80k in favor of Tuna. Potentially there's enough time if enri holds the rest. It's going to be very close though.
Oh, it's 60k. The Aclead's there for enri, 600 combo, about 400 combo lead, but I don't think there's enough time for enri to bring this back. There should hopefully be a point on the board for Tuna. It looks like it will be, still 40k. That's gonna be Tuna's first point of the match.
There we go.
Right on match point. Thank God. Gets on the board, 5-1. There it is. Well done, Tuna.
Huge point for Tuna. The match will not be a sweep. But it is enri's next pick, and Tuna still has 4 more maps to win if he wants to take this a tiebreaker, which would be wild, but I always hope for it, but it's going to be a very, very tall order, especially as the map thins out. Enri, I don't think, has any big tapping maps left, so pretty much the rest of the pool is mostly a coin flip, I would say. Does pick the DT1 though, and this is going to be rough. This is going to be a skill set enri is supremely confident in. Got number 1 in qualities on the DT1 with like a near SS, and I imagine it's going to be a simple case here. Another map where enri's going to have the AC advantage, but it's DT aim. It's something Tuna is also really good on, and if he can just get the combo to swing in his favor, there is a chance here, as always, when both players are really good DT aimers.
Yeah, as it tends to go with a lot of different one-type maps, there's always a chance to break point them, almost no matter what player you are, assuming there's, no excessive tapping strain or anything of the sorts on the map. So generally that always been that type of slot where kind of can go either way. So there's, of course, this potential here for Tuna to bring things to 5-2. I mean, hey, we saw a 5-2 comeback from Forum against Emrek, man. Nothing's out of the question. Nothing at all.
It's true. Anything is possible. This map does have a few jump scare streams as well, but I think assuming both players know that they're there, they should be fine. It's actually going to be enri finding some 100s in the intro, very rare. So far, just a nice intro.
Yeah, this is actually AR 10.5 as well, so a little bit higher than the sort of standard 10.3, but we're kind of at that difficulty level with a lot of these tournaments nowadays. Pretty used to seeing 10.5s in these DT1 slots. Still no problem for these players to read.
And especially when both of these players are known to have some really good aim scores.
Both I've seen.
And yeah, I mean, as expected, this is enri with the yak advantage. FlyingTuna right behind him with the same combo, and it's really gonna come down to who finds the first break.
As it tends to go for, one slots, especially your DT1s, is going to be whoever finds that first break. I doubt we're going to see a double FC, but please prove me wrong. If we do see the double FC, it definitely is probably just going to be enri winning, as he's just had that ACK lead all match, and will continue to have it on this map, over 1% lead. But the FC's there for Tuna. There's room. A little bit less than half of the map remaining now to get into the solo section, but gonna need to see a miss from enri at some point in this map if Tuna wants to take it. It could be at any point, honestly. It could be in the last 20 combo, and Tuna will still win if he FCs. Just enri just has to miss at some point.
So far, nobody feels like missing yet.
Oh my god.
Getting through that difficult section. And there's the break. The nerves are going to settle. Who has the nerves of steel? Both players hitting that stream. That stream is just so long and it comes out of nowhere. Tuna dropping some ACK, but still has the combo.
Oh my god. Yeah, Tuna dropping 48 100s on that stream. Actually, tanks his ACK, but he's got the combo through this ending here. About a sixth of the map remaining. They both have the SC still. enri's ACK is just still disgusting, and he's accrued like a 70k lead by this point. There's still room for Tuna to win. There's the miss. There it is. There's room for Tuna now. The score is flying back over in Tuna's favor. He missed. Oh, Tuna. Unable to convert the breakpoint in the ending. No, Tuna. Oh, when he sees enri missed, he's gonna be
that is
fuming.
heartbreaking. He was right behind. Just found the miss on the slider. Gets the S rank. GG's. enri going to be winning this match 6-1, and a really solid effort from Tuna. I mean, getting imagine S ranking an 8-star DT1 and not winning, dude. That's just getting a million score. That is
Getting 1 mil. Yeah.
That is rough.
That is really, really rough. But Tuna putting up a valiant effort against enri on one of his best days I've seen in a little bit. I mean, just playing out of his mind, and putting up the performance that, we can sort of expect from him. I mean, he's one of the best 20 players in the world. I think that's sort of been cemented for a while now, and he's again proving that. So very, very well done to enri, and Tuna will be moving on down to the lower bracket, not out of the tournament quite yet.
Yeah, he's going to be going up against Takedo in the losers bracket, who just had a really, really good match against Box, just playing out of his mind. So that's going to be a fantastic match in the losers bracket. And meanwhile, it's going to be enri to move up into the semifinals, and he will be versing the winner of Malashevsky Kriller, which I believe we'll see that match in 4 hours. I think at 4 hours and 20 minutes, whatever UTC that is.
About 4.5 hours from now, it's going to be Malashevsky versus Kriller, and then 1 hour after that match is going to be MCY4 versus Decaden to close out the weekend of quarterfinals. But yeah, I think that's going to do us for this match.
Before we go, quick chill. Use code Corsace in Momokai. You can use !Momokai for 10% off, and use !Manga if you want to check out the Corsace manga.
Of course, quick shill, get the plugs in, shameless plugs in before we close it out. But yeah, there it is. That is gonna do it for us for now. Congratulations yet again to enri, and make sure you come back here in just a little bit over 4 hours time for Malashevsky versus Kriller. That one's gonna be a banger. And yeah, I've been Maps, this has been Vorty, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.